Welcome back to Red Recap. Today I'm going to explain a science fiction horror film from 2013. Titled The Last Days on Mars. Spoilers ahead. Sit back and relax. In the opening scene, two astronauts, Vincent and Rebecca, drive into a sandstorm. They arrive to pick up Kim, who is currently drilling for samples. Kim seems annoyed since she's come up empty-handed again, but they inform her they have to get back to the station. Meanwhile, in the station, Marko is analyzing a sample he took from outside earlier and seems happy as he might have found something. The lights in the station flicker on and off as the cooling station is in need of fixing, so Charles orders Vincent to hurry back and fix it. Marko wants to revisit the site he got the sample from but knows Charles will not allow it, so he lies, telling him he needs to fix something outside. Charles reluctantly allows it but tells him to bring Harrington and be back by dark. As the two are heading out, they bump into the three astronauts coming back. When the two start driving, Harrington realizes Marko lied to Charles and questions his motives. Marko then tells him he might have discovered a sign of life and that if they keep doing things by the rules, they will never get anywhere. In the station now, the crew discusses the reality of having to go back to Earth tomorrow, disappointed that they have found nothing during their time on Mars. Kim, still curious why Marko is heading out so late, goes through his personal logs and realizes he has discovered a living bacteria. Meantime, Marko is on the site now collecting more samples, but is suddenly pulled down by a sinkhole collapsing under him. Harrington panics, running to Marko and signals for help. Charles and Lauren arrive at the site as Harrington sits in despair. Lauren, wanting to go down to save Marko, is stopped as it is too dangerous. Taking a further look, Charles declares Marko dead as Lauren weeps. Back in the station, Kim is still focused of the discovery, disregarding the recent death of Marko. Enraging Harrington, and she continues to say it's their fault for breaking protocol. After gathering tools, Charles head back to the site trying to call Lauren, but she is too distracted by something at the door. The crew arrive at the site, with Lauren nowhere to be found. They think she's gone down the hole by herself. When they descend down the hole, they realize something is growing on the rocks but do not find Marko's body or Lauren. Back in the station, Harrington spots Marko limping at a distance, so he goes and helps inside. Upon taking off this mask, he is shocked by his friend's change in appearance. Marko then lets out a growl, reaching for a drill and attacking Harrington. Pressing the emergency button, Kim is alerted, so she goes to check, finding Marko and Lauren. They chase her through the station. Arriving back, Charles instructs them to stay outside as he goes in to check out the problem. Upon seeing Kim, he buys her some time to escape. Struggling with the creature, he manages to exit the station, locking the doors, but not before he is stabbed. The remaining members outside peep into the airlock, confused. Kim explains that they are not human anymore, and the group makes their way to another station nearby. Charles is put on a table as they try to treat his wound, but there is nothing they can do but say their goodbyes. Charles is suddenly thirsty, so Erwin fetches him some water, but when he comes back, Charles tries to attack him. The crew member restrains him until it seems he has passed away. Kim still straps him up, believing he will turn like Marko and Lauren. Checking the cameras now, they see Marko and Lauren have broken their way out. With communications down and no other way to call for help, Vincent offers to head outside to fix the Skylink. However, the creatures are now outside, banging on the entrance, forcing Vincent to exit through a secret tunnel. During his crawl down the narrow tunnel, Vincent has another one of his attacks, but Rebecca helps talk him through it. Finally reaching the exit, he is greeted by the glooming sight of the first attack. Meanwhile, inside the station, they realize the infection is caused by a bacteria, so they try to use an antibiotic spray to fight the creatures off. They use Charles as a test subject. The antibiotic seems to work, so they lure Lauren in the airlock, spraying her with the mix. However, they quickly realize it only works for a brief moment of time. Vincent, now at the skyline, communicates with Mission Control and successfully tells them Mayday before the power cuts out. Behind him, a turned Harrington attacks him. Struggling, Vincent manages to knock him back, running into the tunnel, but Harrington is right behind him. Helping Vincent up, Rebecca leaves the station with him, while Kim and Erwin is left to deal with the zombie. Erwin, who gets to the door first, sees the zombie right behind Kim, so he closes the door, leaving her to die. Regrouping with the two, Rebecca asks about Kim and Erwin says she didn't make it. They are interrupted by the zombie on the floor coming back alive, so they evacuate, but not before Rebecca is stabbed in the leg. Making their way inside a rover, Vincent tries to treat the wound as Erwin drives. Unfortunately, they don't have enough power to get to the landing site, and Erwin says they'll have to walk, leaving Rebecca behind. Vincent differs, refusing to leave her behind. Erwin, remembering there is still a full charged rover in Site 9, suggests they drive there instead. Quickly they drive off, seeing as they are still being followed. Arriving at Site 9, Vincent prepares to check out the rover, but Erwin volunteers instead. After inspecting the rover, Erwin pleads with Vincent to ditch Rebecca, thinking she will be infected, but Vincent refuses. Erwin tries to justify his cowardice, saying he's only trying to help him. Vincent goes out to stop Erwin but is too late as Erwin drives off. With the two zombies still on their tail, the two drive off with the little power they still have. They take shelter in the rover, waiting out the night, hoping the sun will recharge the batteries. In orbit, we see a rescue ship is on the way. Morning arrives and Vincent awakens to a message from the rescue team. He looks for Rebecca but only sees her trail of footsteps. Can't bear to lose her, he gives chase, begging her to come back. She however chooses to not fight it, taking off her mask, devastating Vincent. He holds her close, weeping. Unaware she's turning before him, she starts attacking him but he restrains her, trying to get through to her. She tells him to end her suffering, so he relents. Looking up in the sky, he notices the ship preparing to land, so he runs to it. Before he can get to the ship, he sees the zombies at the landing space, so he signals to the rescuers to stay inside, to no avail. One by one they fall victim to the zombies and he can only watch from afar. As he approaches the site, he can only see bodies on the floor and zombies. He makes his way into the ship under the cover of the sand. Upon reaching the cockpit, he sees Erwin as they're turning before him. The two struggle before Erwin stabs a knife into Vincent's mask. Unaware Vincent is still alive, Erwin starts the ship for takeoff. As the ship ascends, Vincent makes his way to Erwin, knocking him out as the ship stops in orbit. Knowing Erwin will come back alive, he brings into the airlock where he ejects him into space. After gathering himself, he explains to them about the virus and all the dead astronauts in Mars, informing them that he is probably infected too. The screen pans out as he sits in space awaiting his fate. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Take care.